and welcome to
Thehayteamtv.
See, he's pro now. Just
Got the job, that's sus now.
so basically, you guys obviously saw Liam was here. Liam's been with us for a week. Your missus went on holiday in Mexico.
Yeah.
You decided.
I thought I'd come for a nice trip down to sunny Devon, where it's done nothing but, well, it hasn't rained to be fair, but it hasn't been very sunny this week, has it?
He spent most of his time as HRS, and now got the short straw. Somehow, over it.
I don't know which one of them's a short straw, to be honest. There wasn't much difference in them.
Hey, you picked come see us.
That is true. That is true. It's a nice tour of North Devon today, aren't we?
Yeah, so we're up the road, and thought we'd sort of make a little video, chit chat, about stuff. Topic being basically what on our two different farms we're doing to basically combat the price increases on everything
And anything.
isn't
it really?
Yeah. So, what are you doing to feed the ground, fertiliser, things like that?
So with our fertiliser, we've cut right back on the sort of inputs on the crops. So not to say that we're not going to, like with the wheat we grow, we're not going to be supplying it with the units of nitrogen it needs, but we've cut back this time. Usually we're buying P's and K's as well. This time we've just bought solid N and just basically going down that route. We also bought a product which is MZ28, which is like a slow release in nitrogen, which sort of ties in today's world with the carbon footprint and stuff. With it being slow releasing over sort of 6 weeks, it's better for the environment, but also for growing the crop as well, because it will obviously slow release, and that gives us about 40 units on about 35 litres to the hectare of the product. So
How much is that product?
that product, so we bought 2,000 litres of it, and that was 1,800 quid.
That covers.
That's covered for us all of our wheat ground. So for like what we would use our third dressing of nitrogen normally with the granular, and also to join up with the granular on the first cut silage, it's also worked on that. So it would have been an ideal product for us actually for using on second cut, but the biggest problem with it is you need a leaf for it to go onto, and obviously you know yourself after you've cut, you've got really 2 weeks before you've got any sort of coverage there for a spray to go on, and then with that being 6 weeks before that product is out of the grass, well, you're going to be cutting second cutting shorter than 8 weeks after first, so it's not really an option. So until they develop the technology a little bit differently, it's not going to be an option for us on second cut, but sort of make things do. That's what it is.
So, how much fertiliser have we bought this year?
So this year we've bought 30 tonne, so an Arctic load this time, and that was costing us, well, say last year we bought 60 tonne of fertiliser, and that was £18,000. This year we bought 30 tonne and still paid £18,000 for it, which is frightening really. It does hurt. And the problem with it is the uncertainty in the market. Because at current wheat price, I think it's trading at near to £300 a tonne. Well, it's not so bad, but if you get the market flooded at harvest, what's to say it doesn't drop down to £200 a tonne, and then you're losing money then. So it's a real difficult thing to work out.
See, for us, obviously you guys want to use fertiliser. And as I've been chatting to Liam over the last few days and taking the sort of show around the farm, over the last few years of pulling away from fertiliser, the farm has gone through what we can call cold turkey. And like even this spring it was a bit yellow, but it's suddenly started coming back really green. Now, the only way I can explain it is we've got so much compost now and done that the organic matter is risen, and it's also because we don't plough, we haven't ploughed or cultivated now for 4 years as well. That's the last time we had a cultivator. Power harrow's gone, shock, I'll get to that in another video. Change of plans. So power harrow's gone, so we're not going to do any of that again, and obviously you've seen that we've been direct drilling. So increasing organic matter, adding more seeds for more plants, for more diverse mix of grasses, which basically helps. We're trying to feed the ground in a different way. At some point we were all stitching legumes, but to this point not, because we've got a complete change of drill, or what we've done in the past, which is buy a heap of, say, ryegrass and then mix in something like red clover seeds, which is not the most precise way of doing things, but it means you add nitrogen, because you want nitrogen fixed above, and we don't have to completely convert the drill, and you get a fairly good mix. So it works out without having to spend hours changing drill over to drill something else. Just add red clover in with the ryegrasses. But the only problem with putting red clover in, when we actually go dry it for haylage, you end up with no leaves, because the leaves shelter. But you still get the stalk, you still got a fair bit of nutrients in and all for making hay, horses, and stuff like that. You obviously grow a load of corn.
Yeah. Spraying this time, not really any difference to any other year.
No.
The price of the sprays hasn't quite increased the same as with the fertiliser and everything.
Yeah.
Just trying to think now, we sort of put on a phosphorus foliar feed, that went on at the back end, and also
that was a New Holland contract to go past the break.
yeah.
If that guy recognised us, we did wave and put our thumbs up, and we laughed at the two because he had a bloody air horn, which we weren't expecting.
And now we're stuck.
Now we're stuck by freaking road slugs.
Yeah.
Cyclists.
We won't get onto that subject in this video. Yeah, so basically we've stuck the same with what we're spraying. Obviously with our grassland, because we're on sort of a 3 to 4 year rotation around our silage fields and cornfields, we don't get many docks, nettles, thistles and stuff like that in grass ground. So we tend not to spray them, and also because we've got white clover in our mix, as soon as we go in to spray our docks and stuff like that, you're going to wipe that clover out, and we need that for our protein. So yeah, we tend not to touch our grassland spray. Are you doing any this time?
So, leading into, well led into buying the clover. So for the first cut this year, we're going to put in a hormone-based spray, which we haven't done for a few years because of COVID. We haven't bothered to spray, just on the high risk factor of where to, place money and not to risk wasting it. This year we're going to go back to hormone-based spray, which last time we did it was cost about £5 an acre. This time it's going to cost about between £12 and £15 an acre, which is a bit of a hike, which is a bit annoying, but at the same time it's not letting go. But what we will be looking at to do, which we've done in the past, is use what I call forefront of anyone that is up to date with their sprays or knows about spraying. Product called forefront is pretty good at killing any broadleaf weed, and it kills them outright. Not like things like Dockstar that say they work briefly, but cost you a fortune and don't do anything.
Come back twice as bad.
Yeah, they come back twice as bad usually in Dockstar.
Yeah.
Dockstar is like, they seem to kill them once and then feed them so they triple. So forefront, but we can't put forefront on this time of the year, because the way forefront works, it stays within the plant, and if that then that goes into rot or goes into haylage, and then that goes through the animal, of any animal, ends up in the dung, but will still affect it will affect brassica plants, so cabbages, broccolis, cauliflowers, all things like that. That if that manure then goes to some of the allotment, it will basically kill their vegetables. So because of the wide area that we sell hay to, we've got to make sure that we have all these little issues crossed off before we get there. So the way of doing that is, if we spray forefront in early to mid-autumn, after we've taken off the second or third cut off, then go in and spray the weeds just as they're coming through fresh, then they won't be there for about 3 or 4 years. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But it is basically a different way of doing it. And that gives us 6 months from the autumn to us next cutting of all that time for the chemical to go out the plant.
Yeah, you've also got that situation as well, haven't you, with doing that. If you say do 4 fields, you can keep them 4 fields off that first cut to the side, so you can sort of select what you do with it, so that it doesn't end up in that situation if there is any of that still left in the grass. So.
And the other thing with forefront is, and what I was saying about legumes, we can't stitch in legumes yet until we've done the forefront process, because else the forefront, as Liam said, will just kill your clothes. If you don't know how to.
Like another thing we've been cutting back on, or sort of trying to work better with, is diesel usage. So like, what are you doing to sort of change the way and save money on diesel, basically, because we know that's through the roof as well?
Yeah, so diesel's another one. So loads like we got on now, we're looking at possibly putting another layer of bales on per load, which then that will chip away at the amount of money that we spend on road usage. When it comes to farm usage, we've cut back on certain jobs. It is turned out it's a bit of luck that loads of our kit is really wide, so economically we've kind of been ahead of a fuel price game for a long time, because the roller is 22 foot wide, the tedders are 40 foot wide, mowing is 30 foot wide. We don't have conditioners which suck out power on the tractor as well, because it's rate mowers. We run the JCB telly, like the big one, in the yard, it's run Rico, which I'm still not sure if it actually does anything, or whether the button just turn lights on, but you know, I go with it. But everything's generally quite big. Like the bucket we bought the other day is not much bigger, but it's still bigger than the bucket before, so loading things, unloading things, moving things out should take that little bit less fuel. Like, I know you're thinking, oh, that's not that much, but every little bit counts, and every little bit you save all adds up.
No, it's right. It's right though. That, you know, you look after the pennies, the pounds look after themselves.
Exactly.
The little adjustments can make a massive difference, especially this year. We're saving money, so
exactly. So, like, whether we go at some point maybe with GPS, so like mowing, raking, things like that, it'll be mathematical. There won't be like overlaps, rolling as well. Maybe precision driving. That could be fuel rating the way it is. Could push the market on like Green Star and all those sort of different programming things, which is funny enough. You've got yourself GPS.
That does lead us on to it actually. Yeah, we bought ourselves a bit of a GPS system this time. Now we're not talking on Green Star, you know, your Trimble systems, auto steer and all that, but it's literally just a guidance system. It's from a company called Precision. It's just a little base unit you stick on the bonnet of the tractor, and then you run it with your iPad, phone, whatever tablet you've got, and literally what it does, you set your implement width and sort of distance from the back of the tractor, you map your field out, set an A to B line, and then it gives you these accurate sort of areas to drive on. Obviously with your A to B line, they will run parallel across the whole field, and you just follow them lines. The unit on the bonnet has just got a set of lights on it. Green light in the middle means you're on track, and then the red lights to each side sort of telling you you're going off track. So that's something we've done to try and sort of save some money, not just on the fuel side of things, but with fertiliser and spraying. You know, before we'd be sort of spreading fertiliser on grazing ground and it'd be guesswork. And to be fair, Mark, who does a fertiliser spreader for us back home, he's not far away, but it's not perfect. And I'm not saying that this system is perfect, but it works within 20 to 30 centimetres of precision, so it's not too far away. And we actually worked it out on the price of fertiliser. You've only really got to save yourself a bag and a half of fertiliser over the season. It's paying for itself, so it's a bit of a no-brainer. But we're also going to use that this time on mowing. Like you were saying, you're using the full width of the mower for the operation rather than them overlaps and things. And if you save yourself one pass on every field, it all adds up at the end of the day. So yeah, that's sort of the main thing we've sort of done with diesel. We also turn the aircon off now because you know that moves.
I can't live without
I've got to
it.
open the windows now.
This seems like a giant greenhouse you've done for it.
Yes, mind you, it's quite cold today. Yeah, so.
But all you youngsters, if you're thinking that like things like mowing, fertiliser, spinning, anything, if you're mowing and your mower is missing 5 inches, you multiply that between 3 or 4 days on how many repetitions of up and down fields you go, it'll blow your mind how many extra passes you're doing for no reason. Now, it is a bit annoying because I like to drive a tractor and just drive. But
Yeah, it's like me, that is. The thought of driving it for you is a bit like, well, might as well be sat in it.
But human error is human error, and you can't get away from it. So GPS could be a thing on the forefront of our ideas of where we go, just to sort of, save money, basically.
Yeah.
Because there's not so much saving; it's more becoming so efficient that you end up being able to put like that extra fertiliser to another field rather than all of the fields that you've already done. That makes sense. But yeah, GPS could really be a thing that we're all looking for today. Because it's not just saving one thing in that, it's fuel. If you save yourself 2-3 passes a field, it just keeps stacking up.
Yeah, but with the GPS as well, it hasn't got to be the state-of-the-art sort of 5-6 grand system. The product we bought is perfect for us because we're not running on huge acreages where you need to have that for the product to service itself.
Yeah.
With what we do, it's a £650 piece of kit. It does us. What more can you want? You don't need the tractor to drive itself. So
I'll put a link for it in below this because Liam's highly recommended it. I've not used it.
yeah, to be fair, I need to do a video on my channel of it as well. I've been planning on doing it for a while now, but any of you that watch me as well have known I've gone a bit like HRS really, a bit lazy on the old YouTube front.
It does snap on top of you when you've got work to do as well.
Yeah, so to be fair, some days I just like getting the tractor and doing the job and not getting the camera out, so hats off to the people that do it every day, that's for sure.
Yeah. But it's also equipment you can do together. You'll do all multiple shots.
Yeah, it all takes time.
You've got to think all that through, and then you've got to edit it all together, and it makes sense. Yeah, it can be a little bit of a headache. But this video is going to be lovely. It's just chatting like me and I chatting in the car. It's going to be great.
You've just got to edit the bad bits out.
Yeah, edit the bad bits out. Justin's curse words. Bad Justin. Now, yeah, I know. Tops go off, it's got on. We've just done a last drop. You can see there's no bales behind us. Now, other things on other input costs. What have we done to tackle other input costs? So, input costs being feeds, water, plastics, anything like that. Spring, yeah, blah 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 blah. What are you doing to combat that?
Well, nothing intentionally really that's any different. Obviously cows are gone out now back at home, so our feed input costs have dropped. We usually feed in like a 20% protein in the parlour. We can cut that back now to an 18% with the fresh grass, so that's going to be cheaper. We can also sort of bring back how much of that we're feeding them.
What will you do when you bring them back in? Are you going to reduce how many pounds of feed you have per cow, or
yeah, probably try and make the best silage we can, which we try to do any year. But yeah, they might have to just pull it back a little bit. You got to be a little bit careful because you don't want them to go into negative energy after calving.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a difficult one really. Because milk price is on the rise.
Yeah.
But it all depends where the markets go and.
So you're just going to go with where there is a balance.
Yeah, really.
Right.
Really. the difference between you sort of growing your grains and milking your cows is at least you sort of work on a monthly cost.
Yeah.
Whereas with your grain, you put that in September and you're not getting anything back then until the following August. Whereas your milk check and milk price is done monthly, so you don't have to sort of look too far ahead with that one.
Yeah.
Other than that, not really too many changes for us back at home. Are you making any changes with like plastic and things?
Yeah, well, what are you doing on plastic first?
What are we doing on plastic? Silage pit cover, still be the same.
Has that not gone up?
Possibly, I have no idea what the price is. Not priced that one yet. We've got to have it, so regardless of the price, it'll have to come. Last year we made a lot of haylage, which probably this time we won't do so much of because you know, plastic wrap has gone through the roof.
Just put it in the pit.
Either put it in the pit or try and make some hay rather than the haylage. Because then you're only having to put a couple of layers of net wrap round rather than 6 layers of plastic as well. Like, I don't need to tell you that one because you know all about that job.
So we are lucky in a sense that 3 years ago we bought a lorry load of wrap. Now it's one of those lucky accidents. We bought it because we did a really good deal with Mole Valley, and it was done on the thing that we could send it back at the end of the season if we didn't want it, but they could also come and get it if they needed extra. So we were acting like another store unit for them. Even though we bought it, they would buy it back from us. That makes sense? Well, they did on one pallet, but not the rest. So we sort of end up paying off the wrap, all paid for, and for the last 2 years we haven't bought any wrap. And there's still enough wrap for this year as well. So we're really lucky in that. Now,
what do you
that's
know
on
that,
big bales.
What do you know that we don't?
We don't know anything.
Were you anticipating this?
No,
Honestly,
honestly, we did not see anything coming. It's just those luck, accident, and always looking for a deal. The deal's there.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like, don't look the gift horse in the mouth. If it's there, take it if you can. So it was like recently on chicken feed, but that's something I'll get to in another video when I bring the chickens back in. Where they're out, they're actually out, but enough chickens. Now, on the wrap, that's covered us for big bale. Obviously we've got to buy net wrapping, but we buy that as we're using it, so it's more like dripped into monthly accounts, if that makes sense, rather than buying all in one. It has gone up, nothing to do about it. What we might do is reduce a little bit of net going on rotation of each bale, because on the 6 foot, so I know we put on 3 full rotations, we might go to like 2.5. Indoor wrap for small bales. Now that is been a little bit of a scary price rise, and also the fact that we couldn't get it for ages as well. So we managed to actually buy 7 pallets worth of 360 wrap, which is for small bales, from Belgium, ironically. So that is being sent over to us, to one of the stores we deal with as well. So we've actually picked up 4 of the 7 pallets already and used 3 of them. And then we've got another couple pallets to pick up. So that was a lucky thing on them. But when we bought that, don't think we bought that now, we bought that like right mid-winter. So it was a discount on it because they were just trying to get rid of it. And it just happened to be sat in a warehouse in another country. So that's those elements sorted. Other than that, our input costs are pretty much, as I've said already, economically sorted by just really wide gear, probably wider than what we actually need. But for a time like this, it's really quite useful.
Yeah, it's a tricky one really. Very tricky one.
But it could all change in a minute, none of us know.
No, exactly.
That's the...
There's too many uncertainties currently going on in the world for you to anticipate anything that's going to happen.
100%.
So,
But on saving money in the times with all the prices going up, I think that's about it.
yeah, I think so.
That's pretty much all the input costs we can think of our head. If we missed something, leave a comment below.
Yeah, it's probably loads more that
Yeah, it's probably loads more
slip your mind, don't they?
Feeds, we've reduced feed on our cattle. The only ones now getting feed are finishers. Nothing else is getting hard feed.
That's the same with us, really. We're rearing like up right up to storage on haylage, and then once they're about 2 months off fat, just start pumping a bit of corn into them.
Yep.
It's stuff we've got left at home. It's a bit of wet spring barley we did last year, so it's surplus product we can't sell, so we just sort of put that through them. But yeah,
so it's anything to fix it. But on all that info, if you've enjoyed watching this, thank you very much. If you haven't yet done so, please
subscribe.
Not just to Thehayteamtv,
but
to
Case Farms.
That'd be great. Also give us a thumbs up. Leave us a comment below if there's something that you want to know from either one of us, or something that we should talk about, or if you agree with anything we've said or disagree, blah blah blah. You know, no one has to agree on everything.
No.
It's better to learn with people that disagree on certain aspects. If you want to see any more of us, you can find us both on Instagram on our 2 different channels. You can find us both on Facebook.
No, I'm not on Facebook.
Yeah? You're just on Instagram.
Just Instagram for me.
Snapchat?
No Snapchat.
Oh, just
Instagram.
Just Instagram, and Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, and sometimes TikTok. But until next time, hope you guys enjoyed this. See you next one.
Cheers.